and welcome to LVS Perspectives. It's an end of term perspectives. Can you believe it?
I can't believe end of the academic year.
End of academic year perspectives. So today we've got literally everybody coming on to talk about this year and what we've done, and a little bit about what next year looks like as well. But okay, so Francis, we're going to go straight over to you. And I know earlier in the week we had perspectives on the academic progress of the children in the junior school. And that can still be accessed on our Facebook page if you want more details about that. But Francis, over to you now just for feedback, and then back to Sharon, and then I'm going to be disappearing. But if you've got any questions, please put them on the chat, and Sharon and Laura will be back in here to answer your questions. So Francis, over to you.
Good morning again, everybody. We had a lovely celebration assembly this morning, just celebrating all the wonderful achievements of the children from the last half term. And as Mrs. kind of said there, the progress information that we talked about on Wednesday is still available on Facebook. This term we've had right up to the last minute, we're still working, reading, using Accelerated Reader and Myon. We've had various competitions, some wonderful entries from Mrs. Cuniff's pug competition about Bruno, written and drawing. We've had children take part in a Spanish spelling bee, with Imi in Year 6 going to Cambridge University on Tuesday for the final, round 3. We wish her lots of luck. Lots of focus on maths, the fluency, using mental maths in the classroom and practical maths work. Lots of practical science investigations, reinforcing those working scientifically skills. And as well, along the lines of Miss Lewin will talk about sport later on, art, music, humanities. Year 4 yesterday had a lovely visit from Mrs. Hawthorne talking about Judaism. And we're looking forward to all the festivities for the end of the school year, Sports Day, Celebration Day and Transition Day. So just the highlights of the progress the children have made this term, if Mr. Cuba can put them on the screen for me. And we're really pleased with the progress the children have made in their academics. These are just the highlights, a snapshot in time, but the children that were with us in reception last year, current year ones, have made huge progress in their English and maths. So same with year 2, 3. And in science as well, with 4, 5 and 6, you've got that great over 90% in the progress they've made in their core subjects. So we're really, really pleased with all the progress the children have made in their academics this academic year.
Okay, thank you for that, Francis. And I didn't get to go into the assembly this morning, but I heard it was fantastic. And looking forward to all of your events next week as well. Okay,
busy week.
So sorry.
Busy
so we
week
move
ahead.
on to the academic in the senior school now. A little bit the same. We're really, really pleased to be over the exam period. It kind of came and went this year, didn't it? Oh, we've got Mrs. Collins with us.
I'm here now. It's okay.
I'm going to introduce you.
Oh, that's all right.
Mrs. Collins is with us for the rest of the perspectives today. So the exams period has been and gone, and it kind of came, I think, because the weather was really, really cold, it kind of didn't feel like exam season.
No,
so
it definitely didn't. It's gone very quickly.
Yeah, it did go very quickly. The last exam was last week, and since then it just has gone in a blur because we've had the end of year balls, and so yes, exams are all over, all the coursework's in, all of it's gone, it's all sent away, and so we'll be fast forwarding to the results in August. If you have a child in years 11, and I don't think anybody will be watching for 13 here, but you will have been sent information of how those results will be and how they'll be published and what we'll be doing around those results. But that's for those in year 11 and 13. We've just finished all the exams as well for the senior school. We had the year 10 and 12 exams earlier in the summer term, and then we also had the key stage 3 assessments. Next week, if you have a child in key stage 3, you will be receiving the results reports. They will be getting their end of year school report, and also they'll be getting their results reports. So we try to get them out a couple of days before the end of term, and I'll be sending out a letter that will go with those as well to let you know about where they all are, how you can access them, and what it all means. A little bit of an explanation there as well. But again, if you have any questions about that at all, do message your child's tutor. So that's the exam period over. Just a heads up that when the calendar is published, well, it's all going in there at the moment. We've already set the dates for the mocks next year. They will be slightly earlier than they have been this year, and the second set of mocks will be in before the end of the spring term as well. And just because the times of Easter changes, and so everything shifts around a bit, but it's not a constant exam machine, but we always like to make sure that all of our pupils are well prepared. I was so impressed by particularly our year 11s this year. They were really, really resilient. They seemed to go in without not without a care in the world, but they were very calm, and they were very happy at the end of it. We've had some real successes with our blended learning this year. One of them I just wanted to highlight, the Sparks Maths, which has been quite a huge hit with a lot of our pupils as well. It's for those of you who don't know, it's an online maths platform that's used for prep, and with that it's it's supported by AI in that it can see exactly what your child needs to consolidate and pushes them further as well. So we'll be looking more at some of the platforms over the coming year, because Sparks has been so popular. We're looking at maybe being able to bring them in for other subjects too. As I've already said, reports and results, they'll be out by Wednesday next week. And just reflecting on what Mrs. Izod said as well, we've just finished our Key Stage 3 progress test. Now we do these in years 7 to 9, and we look at maths, English and science, the core subjects, and we're able to see how much progress that has been made during the year, and it's charted against the national average, and we've been really, really pleased with the outcomes, particularly strong in the sciences and in maths too, and we can see exactly the skills that our children have and the skills they need to work on as well. So we've been really, really pleased with the progress that's been made. Parents' evening, just a heads up for next year, we'll be bringing them back into the school hall. We'll still be doing those on the school cloud, because everybody seems to be able to get to have a consultation, because it works so well for so many of our parents. But we will be here as well, so you'll have the choice of having your consultation face to face, or you can still have your consultation online if you're joining from remotely, or it's just more convenient for you. Lots of prep has been done throughout the year, and summer is no exception. So we do really like to set a little bit of holiday prep. Those of you with children in years 10 and then year 12, they will be set not a significant amount, but a good amount of prep just to keep them going over the summer holidays, because it's important that they don't lose all of those skills, or even how to pick up a pen and put pen to paper. But just be aware that your children will be set some summer prep, and it will be set again as it is on Teams. Okay, so we've done so much this year. There's been so much going on. We've had competitions, particularly strong on the Maths Challenge competitions, and they will continue into the new academic year. And we're looking at competitions just to change the pace a little bit in other subjects as well. Lots of exciting things happening with our curriculum, building on what we've done this year. We're going to be bringing in a subject called Global Perspectives, which sort of marries the humanities together and just, extends our pupils further, making their, supporting their critical thinking, debating and overall academic skills. So that's a real just run through of the academic. There's too much to mention this year, but it's been a really, really strong year, and which we will be celebrating at President's Day next week, which we hope to see many of you. So we'll be moving on now. I'm going to pass over to Mrs. Collins. She's going to talk all things wellbeing.
Fantastic, thank you. So yeah, this year's been absolutely fantastic. I've put a few photos up actually of our Wellbeing Centre. I'm sure you've all heard about it, but I'm not sure how many of you have actually seen the fantastic building and homely environment that we have there. So I put a few photos up there because I think it's really important to see although we have Mirella, who's our wellbeing practitioner, but the really nurturing environment and the building space that is there. And what's really exciting this year is that we've actually got a new pod that has been built in the garden, which you can see there in the top right, which is going to be specifically used for our ELSA provision, so the Emotional Literacy Support Assistant provision. And that will benefit a huge number of our pupils and have that quiet, secluded space where they can really access the support that they need. Mirella's done an absolutely fantastic job in the Wellbeing Hub this year of making it really accessible, welcoming to everybody. And I know a number of our students have been really supported by the environment and Mirella as we're there. So I'd like to thank her because she has done a brilliant job.
It's looking fantastic.
It does. It looks really nice. It's even better when the sun shines as well. Sunshine makes everything look good, I think. We've had a large number of house events this year which have been brilliant. Lots of house sport that have taken place. House basketball introduced for the first time. We've had our house football, house cricket, house netball, house swimming. Infant Junior School have done their house swimming as well. And they've done amazingly well. And for the senior school, I know the Infant Junior School had their house point totals announced this morning in their assembly. But for the senior school, the sports day next week is going to contribute to that overall house cup. So we won't actually be sharing who wins the house cup until President's Day next week. So all to play for in sports day next Wednesday.
What's the weather looking like?
We've got to do a bit of a sun dance, I think.
Okay,
but,
okay.
It will be fine. It will be fine. Positive.
Right.
Yeah, it will be fine. So all to play for, and I'm hoping all of your children are going to get involved in that, and hopefully we'll see as many of you there as possible. We've had some drop-down days this term even, looking at Stand Against Violence and also anti-bullying. And we know that these have been really hard-hitting for the pupils, and they've actually been from year 5 all the way through to year 10. But we feel that with hard-hitting drop-down days, guest speakers, it's really important because I think that allows the children to really take ownership of their own behaviour and how their behaviour can impact others. And that's a message that we're going to continue with, and we have been working on really hard this term, but we're going to be working even more on it next year, taking responsibility for your own behaviour, the impact that behaviours can have on other people, and understanding that although you don't have to be friends with everybody within the year group, within the school, it's really important that everyone's kind and treats everybody with the respect that they deserve. So we're going to be doing lots more work on that next year, and would really encourage you to be having those conversations with your children over the summer holidays, especially thinking of their online behaviour as well, and that digital footprint that they can leave if they are sharing or sending unkind, aggressive messages. So please do just have those conversations over the summer, because I think it is really important that we all take a responsibility in shaping the children's behaviour. So looking ahead for next year, it's really exciting that we're having some wellbeing curriculum delivered within our LVS 4 slots next year, and in the Infant Junior School this will also be embedded within the timetable. We've been doing a lot of work this year behind the scenes on developing a whole school wellbeing strategy and looking at how we can really put students, staff and parents' wellbeing at the forefront of everything that we do. So I'm really excited that we're going to be using Thoughtbox Education, their triple wellbeing programme, within the curriculum time. And this is looking at very much about developing conversations, developing answers, developing resilience, and being confident to ask the questions that maybe are that we have but we don't necessarily want to share. And the triple wellbeing programme looks very much at self-care, people care and earth care. So it builds in sustainability, it looks at climate change, homelessness, refugee journeys, but also looking at awe and wonder, love and gratitude and things like that. And I'm really excited, and I think that'll be a really positive experience for all of our pupils and staff to deliver next year as well.
Excellent programme.
It looks absolutely fantastic. So I'm really excited about that. We have updated our uniform policy for next year, which should be live on the website later on today, if it's not already, but it will be by 4 p.m. New parents will already be aware. And current parents as well, please do just take a look at some of the changes. So just to reiterate some of the key changes in the uniform policy for September, LVS branded coats are being brought in. These will be compulsory for every child in year 3 through to year 11, year 3 through to year 10, with the exception of year 6, and also with the exception of year 11, only for this academic year coming. Because obviously we understand that you might not want to spend money on a LVS branded coat if your child is only going to be here for one more year. But for everybody else, these will be compulsory. School bags will only be able to be LVS branded school bags. These are now available to purchase from School Blazer as well. There have been in the past some supply issues with our old provider, but now it's great because all the uniform can be bought in one place on School Blazer. And I believe they're also doing free delivery for the month of July as well, so you might want to get in there quickly with your uniform purchases. We are not going to allow any jewellery next year in either the infant junior school or the senior school, with the exception of a digital or analogue watch. So no smartwatches will be able to be worn, no earrings, no bracelets, no necklaces. And the reason for no smartwatches is because we are going with a whole school, apart from the sixth form, they can still have, but we are going for a whole school mobile phone ban. And although we have tried this year very much to keep mobile phones out of sight during the school day, there have still been a number of pupils, I'd probably say the majority of pupils, that sneakily have a look at their timetable or send a quick message, maybe even messaging home as well, but making sure that obviously from next year we are going to be using Yonder pouches, where the pupils will put their phones into a pouch in the morning. They're then locked with a magnetic lock, a bit like a retail security tag. And then these will be released at the end of the school day. And the idea of this is that it reduces, minimises, eradicates effectively the distraction of having a mobile phone available to them, where they could be checking the time and then maybe see that they've got a message, and then maybe that distracts them a little bit more. But it will also help to ensure that they remain focused on their academic studies. And research does suggest that mobile phone-free schools using these pouches potentially achieve a grade, 1 grade or even 2 grades higher at GCSE level. So we think that this is going to be really positive for academic performance, as well as their well-being, and also encouraging communications, verbal communications, and looking out of the digital kind of way, I think will be really important. So these are going to be implemented in September. More information will come out about these over the next week before the end of term. But just that's about it from me, I think.
So much there.
I know, there always is, and I always think I've forgotten something, but fingers crossed that's given
that's a nice
good
overview.
Good roundup, perfect.
Okay, so next we're moving on to all things personal development. We have Mrs. Wall with us to tell us what's been going on this term.
Good afternoon, everyone. So it has been a very busy term, and indeed a very busy year overall for personal development. So if we have a look at our co-curricular programme, we'll start with the extended co-curricular programme. So that's the programme that takes place either in the morning, at lunchtime, or after school. Overall this year, we have had 136 different clubs in the senior school and another 57 different clubs in the infant and junior school. So there is really a huge range that has been offered by our staff this year for our pupils. So the programme allows our pupils to either engage in a new activity or perfect a previous skill, or compete against other people from around the country in some of the elements that they've been working on this year. So it's really lovely to see, and we have such a wide range from angling out at our beautiful lake to water polo in our pool. There really are fantastic opportunities which have been provided by our staff. So our embedded programme, so this is the programme that takes place during the LVS 4 time. We've had 22 different activities within that. It's mainly focusing on sort of life skills, development of character, and very much incorporating those values that we see from Round Square of leadership, service, democracy, internationalism and adventure. So this has included things like debate, digital literacy, the big sing, ever popular, stock market trading and problem solving competitions as well. So on to educational visits. So as always, we've had a very busy educational visits calendar this year, and we have had 49 visits taking place, and 13 of those were actually residentials. So some of the highlights, are very much personal opinion here, the sports tour, the South Africa trip, the people just love that, and of course the ski trip to Italy, where it snowed and was absolutely beautiful. In terms of Duke of Edinburgh, Mr. Fraser, who's actually on a residential visit at the moment, has done an amazing job leading Duke of Edinburgh this year, and we've really seen those numbers like revive, to be honest. So we've had pupils completing the bronze, the silver and the gold awards this year, and that has been part of our LVS 4 programme for those students who are completing the bronze and the silver. So a lot of work has gone into that, and we're very, very proud of all of those pupils who have received those awards this year. So Round Square is now really up and running. We've seen some amazing collaborations and Zoom postcards, which have been taking place in the IJS, just linking our pupils from LVS Ascot with schools from around the world. I mean, what a absolutely fantastic opportunity. And we're all set for members of our sixth form, our year 12 cohort, to be attending the Round Square International Conference at the end of September this year, something which they are looking forward to, as are the members of staff who are also going to be going on that trip. So watch this space for some feedback next year from them. So we're just coming to the end of our Lives Week 2024, and it has been a fabulous week, and the weather has turned up in absolute force this week. So we've had some beautiful sunshine, which has been very helpful. So pupils have been learning about their local area. There's been a Thames walk, guided Thames walk by members of our history department. They've been learning how to create and produce a short film. And they've actually been participating this week, earlier in the week, in their own CSI, LVS Ascot CSI Day, looking into some intricacies of forensic science. Of course, we've had a range of residentials this week. We've had a trip to Wales, which I think they're on their way back. Hello, if anybody's listening on the coach coming back from Wales, with a sustainability focus whilst doing some adventurous training. We've had the trip to London, where they've had this amazing programme of workshops and theatre visits looking at performing arts. At Eindhoven, they've been on a sports tour over there, and there's been some pupils over in Morzine also doing adventurous training and working on that character development. In terms of equity, diversity and inclusion, our pupil voice group, who are absolutely fantastic, they've been meeting regularly just to make sure that at LVS Ascot we continue to celebrate our differences and create that inclusive environment. So actually inclusive leadership has become quite an integral part of our staff training this year. So not only with staff considering their curriculum choices and making sure that they're providing pupils with role models and visual representation, but also with staff contemplating how they can change and learn and adapt their own leadership skills to make those high-performing teams who can absolutely support the outcomes of our pupils. And finally, looking at careers. So pupils in Key Stage 4 and 5 have been able to meet with our careers advisor, and we have a new person coming into role in September to support them further. Key Stage 5 have visited a variety of different careers fairs around the county, just to consider their future options and get some ideas and get them enthused about what their next steps might be. And we've had speakers in to visit our pupils at LVS Ascot to discuss apprenticeships and further education options, and to share their own careers journey in a range of subjects. So actually you might have seen on our social media that last week we had Robin Holdaway, who is an actor, talking about their progression into performing arts, which gave the opportunity to our pupils to ask those questions and really think about the variety of different routes that they can take in their future. So as you can see, we've had a busy year in terms of personal development, and it's always an exciting area of the school. And I look forward to seeing what we will have in place next year.
Wow, thank you, Mrs. Wall. There's just so much.
So much opportunities, so many opportunities.
There's been a fantastic year, and there's loads more of that coming next year as well. Okay, so moving on, we're going to go over to Mr. Moore, who is going to tell you all about all of the wonderful things that have been happening in the sixth form.
Is Mr. Moore there?
Is he there? Oh,
Well,
He
the
is.
last few lunchtimes he's
here
been
he
out
is,
walking with bare
Yeah.
feet around the field, so I'm
Yeah.
surprised he is there actually.
Here he is talking about the sixth form. And I'll just briefly start with the year 13s who left us sort of properly on Wednesday evening, and reinforced to me the idea that the sixth form's almost a mayfly-like experience. They just they're here for such a brief time. It flies by. I know it sort of sounds like 2 years and 5 terms, and then they're gone. It's incredible. But we had this fantastic Leavers Ball. That was wonderful. If any year 13 parents are watching, I'm writing to you today about Results Day, to sort of with a few ideas on what you can do to prepare for that. And Results Day itself, we'd love people to come in once they've got their university places secure. We'd love people to come in on the morning at between 10 and 12 o'clock for coffee and croissants, meet up with all their mates and get a few pictures and swap some stories. So that's the year 13s. So moving on, current year 12s. So they're halfway through their A-level courses, and what we've done this year is to try and get as much academic work done as possible in a year. Is we moved their final set of exams to this last week and a couple of days the week before, so that we had maximum teaching time. So they've had another little set of exams, and they'll go towards they won't be a major part of the predicted grades, but they'll help towards the predicted grades. And for the rest of the week, we had a charity day on yesterday, and there were loads of people washing cars, selling ice creams, selling cakes, getting involved. So that was all rather lovely. And today we've had people coming in with to see myself and Mrs. Westwood. We ran sessions this morning on personal statements for UCAS and the presentation for the EPQ, and now we're able to see students on a one-to-one basis to get those out of the way. So that's been really useful. And just a reminder about work experience, we moved work experience away from this week as a formalised week. I found that it was increasingly difficult, almost nigh impossible to get placements, for students to get placements, because pretty much everyone in the country of that age and year 10 is looking for work experience in June. So we've thought it better that you use the holidays all through the year, any time, to fit in to get some work experience, so they can have multiple occasions, and a couple of days here and a couple of days there would be a fantastic way to use that. So looking forward to our next year 12, the current year 11s. Was at their leavers due last night. That was fantastic, and that felt more like a sixth form due. They're an incredible bunch of people, and really looking to seeing most of them. I think 2/3, 70% are coming back in September. We've got plenty of new people starting. It's going to be a really, really great cohort, and their sixth form life really starts on the 6th of September in the afternoon, where we'll have a chat with them. They'll get their timetables sorted out. We'll be able to sort their options out, and they'll be able to hit the ground running on Monday with a full timetable. Then within a couple of weeks of that, arrange for them all to go to Royal Holloway, so they get a taste of what a campus university is like. We hopefully get a couple of lectures in there. We're getting tours and talks, so they'll be able to understand what these places are like. And for those of you that know the outside of Royal Holloway, it's an inspirational building. It's one of those things that I hope they'll look at that and think, I could be there in 2 years' time. It really is something. And then we'll be having a sixth form dinner to help them all settle in. So looking forward to that. Got a long summer ahead, but I genuinely do look forward to starting term again. It's a fantastic job we've got with these young people, and the positive energy and the just the wonderful atmosphere that they have in this building. It makes it a joy to come to work. It really does. But well, that's me really done, I think. So have a lovely summer. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Moore. Fantastic things going on in the sixth form. Lots for next year.
It's going to be
As
nice
is it,
full
yeah.
sixth form and buzzing as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be really busy. And also, the ball was really good this week. It was lovely to
it's
see them all going
really
away.
lovely,
Yeah, that
and
was really nice.
Lovely to see some parents as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
top do, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was fantastic,
Fantastic.
really good.
Well, thank you, Mr. Moore. Okay,
Thank you.
so we're going to move on now to talk a little bit about boarding. Lots happening there, gosh.
There is
Wow.
a huge amount, and it's absolutely fantastic. I know a lot of you probably really focus on the day side of the school, but we are a boarding school as well, and some of the activities that the boarders get up to are incredible, and the boarding house staff work incredibly hard putting on all of these activities, supporting the boarders in a really lovely, homely environment. And I think the summer term is always good for the boarding community because they get to go out, they get to do the water parks, they get to go to the theme parks, they're off to the beach, I think. No, it's Thorpe Park this weekend. They went to Bournemouth Beach last weekend as well.
But also
they
they
had
use
fantastic
here as well.
weather.
It's lovely in the evening here.
Yeah, the facilities, the swimming
fantastic.
pool, the Astro. I know they do cooking competitions as well, and they all go to each other's houses, which is really lovely. It really is a home from home, which is fantastic. So there has been some great activities, and these activities sometimes are house-based activities, house-only activities, but there are also some lovely full boarders trips, as we mentioned as well. This term, the fantastic girls in Q House put on a wonderful afternoon tea for some of the staff in the senior school to say thank you for the year. And we had a brilliantly international food celebration evening for all of boarding over in Osborne House, and the food that was on display and the cultures, and we had some different dancing as well, which was absolutely brilliant, and it was a really lovely way of exploring all the different nationalities that we've got in boarding as well. As always, we've had our boarders' dinners this year. So we've had a Christmas dinner, we've had an Easter dinner, and I know that each of the houses have done some specific houses for those specific dinners for those boarders that are also leaving this term. Always having lots of fun, and it's brilliant that the junior boarders who are in the infant junior school today have been sharing their culture with all the members of the infant junior school
to see,
for their International Day of Celebration, which is today. And there's some fantastic outfits on display in the infant junior school today. I've seen a kilt, I've seen some traditional dress.
I've seen a flag.
Also seen some England football kits as well, I think, as standard. Maybe England might play better coming up on Sunday. But again, the boarding community is absolutely fantastic. They work tremendously hard, and it certainly is a home from home environment where I know that they all have an awful lot of fun. So thanks to all the boarding staff for all the work that they put in, and thanks also to staff who go in and help out every so often with boarding, because without that, I know the children really appreciate all the staff input as well that there is.
Okay, so moving on, we're going to talk all things sport. So we should have,
the duo are there.
There they are. Hi.
Good afternoon, everybody. I will start us off with the IJS sports stuff that we've taken part in over the last term. Firstly, I just wanted to say a big thank you to all the children and the staff for the efforts yesterday with our Olympic Day. Obviously, we wanted to put on something for the children that was themed around the Olympics, hopefully get them inspired and make sure that they were up for taking part or watching the Olympics this summer. And all the children took part in events such as archery, high jump, rounders, lawn bowls, beach volleyball, and an alternative relay. We wanted to basically put on events that we weren't doing in Sports Day next week. And the kids loved it. It was fantastic to watch. The photo in the middle there is of Rory McSweeney in year 5 doing the high jump. He did very, very well. The afternoon then consisted of an aquathon as well, which involved the kids starting in the swimming pool, needing to get their T-shirts on, their trainers on, and then running and finishing up on the finishing line at the track, which the children seemed to really enjoy. Lots of fun had by all, and it was great to see those that were putting themselves out of their comfort zone really enjoying themselves. In terms of our sports programme and fixture afternoons, we've had a fabulous term regarding sport and made huge progress in our cricket fixtures. We've had our Wasps, Spiders and Beetles from years 5 and 6 all playing hardball cricket, which is great because up until maybe this year or maybe last year, didn't really play many hardball cricket fixtures. So now to have year 5 and 6 playing those has been really good progress, and we're competing really well each week as well. I think our year 6 Wasps and our year 5 Beetles have only lost once, which has been really great to see. And it's not all about results, but it's a nice gauge as to how well they're doing and the progress that they're making. In year 3 and 4, we have our Wasps and Beetles again. The sort of top 2 teams have done really well. I've only lost once each as well. Our Beetles lost that game by a single run, so it's been a really progressive term on that front. There's a special mention as well to our Butterflies in year 3 and 4, who have battled away, new to cricket and learning the game, but managed to win their last 2 games, which was really, really special for them as well. So well done to them. I just wanted to maybe pick out an individual as well, because this is a hugely talented year 4 student, William Dixon, who has played cricket obviously for the year 4 team. He's also represented year 6 and has played for year 7 as well. But outside of school, has actually been selected to play under 10 cricket next season for Middlesex, which is like the feeder year for their under 11 academy, which is when they can actually be signed. So a huge well done and congratulations to Will, fully deserved. Lots of hard work and practice has gone in there. Aside from cricket, we've had our athletics season as well, which was another huge success. Our ISA regional event held at Thames Valley Athletics Centre the week after half term. We had 19 medals on the day, which was great. I'll give you a snapshot of a few of them. The likes of Luca Perva from year 5 got a gold. Blake Goss from year 6 got a gold in the shot put. Lucas was long jump, sorry. Arthur Collins, Ocean, Harry Hamblin and Will Dixon winning the boys year 4 relay. Gabby Newman with a gold in the girls 80 metres for year 6. Fergus Hyde got 3 medals. He got 2 silvers, one in the 75 and the 150, and then was part of a bronze medal relay team with Camden, James Bowles and Luca Perba. Ruby Collins got a silver in the ball throw. James Bowles, silver in the ball throw. Will Dixon, silver in the ball throw. Sienna, silver in the ball throw. And Solomia, who had never jumped in a long jump before April, got a bronze medal in the year 4 girls long jump, which was great as well. That event is a qualifying event for the national finals, and as a result of what they did, Luca Perba and Blake Goss were selected as part of the London West side that competed in the national finals, which was held in Birmingham at the Commonwealth Games stadium. It's a great stadium. If you look at those photos down at the bottom, especially the one of a very proud Blake, you can see the sort of stand behind. And the other photo there is of Luca jumping in the long jump. Luca had a great afternoon, but unfortunately just fell short of a centimetre away from getting a bronze medal. And Blake was lucky enough to go one further. He threw 7.88 metres in the shot put, which was his personal best, and that led to a bronze medal for Blake, which was great. Luke will be back stronger next year as well, I can tell you that. Just to round up, I guess, I just wanted to remind people of the sports events in the IJS that are going on next week as we round off the celebrations and congratulate everyone. We've got our first ever Sports Awards barbecue on Monday afternoon. That's for years 3 to 6. It starts at 3 p.m. for the students. We're having a barbecue outside, and then at 4 p.m. the awards ceremony will begin, and that's when parents are allowed to come along and watch the awards. Had loads and loads say that they're coming along, so really looking forward to that on Monday and celebrating the successes of the kids over the years. We're going to have a sports boy and girl of each year group, a most improved boy and girl of each year group, and we'll be doing team of the year as well. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, of course, we round off, save the best till last, round off the whole year with the IJS Sports Day on Thursday morning, which I encourage as many of you to come to as possible. It was brilliant last year. We hope it'll be exactly the same this year. So that's enough from me. That's IJS Sport as it was. And I will hand over back to Mrs. Collins.
Thank you very much. I think we're going straight over, but I'll have a question first, because we haven't worked out where you are in the school yet. So we'd quite like to know where you are.
We've been
we'll take bets. We're not going to reveal just yet.
Oh, okay.
We're by the lake.
We found a classroom that's not as hot as the P office that's above the swimming pool.
Fair enough. But I still don't know where it is. The purple wall's not giving anything away, I have to say.
We're at a different school right now. We're in W11. Nothing too exciting. So, going on to the senior school, just to say, from having been a little bit more involved in the infant and junior school this year, it's just so wonderful to hear how many successes there have been and how many opportunities there are, not only for Key Stage 2 with playing fixtures, but also to see the reception children, the year 1s and 2s, taking part in that Olympic day yesterday, especially the aquathon. I think just shows how lucky the children are and how many opportunities they get and how fantastic that they take on anything within their stride. So moving on to the senior school, likewise, it's been a very busy term, and whilst the weather at the start of the summer term was a little bit up and down, it finally came around. We got a bit of sunshine, and we've had many, many successes in a variety of sports. So to start with, and the pictures on the slide highlight the cricket successes that we've had. We've got the under-15 cricket county Vars winners there on the top left, Mr. Bovingdon's under-15 cricket side. And they won the final here last week. It was a very close competition, but they came out strong against St. Bart's. And within that, there was a couple of notable performances. So we've got Caden taking 4 wickets in that game, and Elliot was the top scorer with 23 runs to help seal the win. It's not just the boys that have success in cricket. The girls have also done really well, and they are actually the under-13 Berkshire Cup County Cup champions this term. Mr. Villas' winning side in year 8 absolutely smashed the finals day, and Michaela and Seren both scored 50 runs within that final, which was absolutely amazing. In our annual match against the MCC, quite funny that his surname is to do with cricket, but Owen Bowles actually scored 5 wickets against the MCC, which is an amazing achievement against the touring side that come to us every year. And he has earned a trip to Lords next summer with 2 spare hospitality tickets to experience a test match at Lords, which is just absolutely phenomenal. He'll get to go on the pitch and he'll be presented with a cap. And being a big cricket fan himself, I'm sure he'll find that amazing. Going on to athletics, likewise with the IJS, we've also had a similar amount of success. So we also went to the ISA regionals, and there was a number of medalists. So forgive me while I read them out. Leo Brink got gold in the shot put. Amber Hamilton-Martin 2 golds, so the 800 metres and the 300 metres. Millie Hamilton-Martin got a gold in the 800 metres. Evan McGrail gold in 800 metres, and Mia Sobter a gold in the discus, which was just absolutely fabulous. And from that, they qualified for the nationals, where Leo Brink won gold in the shot put, so national champion. Amber Hamilton-Martin was in the relay, and they came second. Millie Hamilton-Martin was got a silver in the 800 metres. Evan McGrail gold in the 800 metre, another national champion. And Amber Hamilton-Martin also earned 3 medals in total and had a gold in the 300 metres. Not just nationally, we also compete in the county championships, which is where you qualify from the districts. And within that, we've also had William Bell win a gold in the hammer, which is a very unique achievement because we don't do the hammer at school here. So for him to represent the school and through his athletics club train for that and then compete and win gold in the hammer is just absolutely phenomenal. And as well as that, we have Jabari Richards still with us, got his last gold in the 100 metres, Amber Hamilton Martin a silver in the 800, Evan McGraw a bronze in the 800 as well, and Leo Brink in the shot put. So lots and lots of athletics, and Amber and Leo will qualify for English schools, which is a huge national competition later in July. Moving on to another sport that we've started to see more of an uptake in is golf. So Mr. Villas has been driving the golf programme this year, and he actually informed me this morning that we are now ranked 34th in the country for the senior team out of 200 schools. But the juniors specifically are ranked 9th in the country, which is absolutely amazing and just shows how that programme is being driven. And we're looking to expand this even more next year and run a house golf competition. So look out for further information about that. The new gym is here. It's been installed. We lost it for the summer term just to the exams. However, once President's Day has been finished, it will be reverted back to a working gym, and we will be launching that officially in September for both staff and students to use, and it will be available to everybody, and it's an amazing facility. If you haven't seen it yourself, please do pop in and have a look, because it really is. It's transformed what was the old ancillary hall. And finally, the term has been rounded off. I believe they're currently at Calais waiting for their ferry, but we have 78 student and 9 staff that have been on the Eindhoven Sports Tour this week, from Monday to Friday. They've played in hockey and football, specifically training with PSV Eindhoven and Orange Rood Hockey Club, and they've experienced some top quality coaching as well as some lovely educational visits to the theme park, bowling, and then witnessing other fixtures as well. And as Mr. Lewin said, he seems to have disappeared next to me, but we are very much looking forward to next week. It's the pinnacle of our sporting calendar. It's Sports Day and Sports Awards all on the same day. So there's just one date that you need to remember for that. It's the 3rd of July on Wednesday. Sports Day starts from 12 o'clock. And the Sports Awards are in the evening. But from myself and Mr. Cow, we'd like to thank all of the staff that assisted in sport throughout the whole year, and the teachers that have supported the children, and every single child that has participated, because without you, the sports programme wouldn't be as awesome as it is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We were going to ask where Mr. Loon has gone.
I don't know, a different classroom, and I'm not quite sure if anyone sees him.
Actually, going to say also how amazing the golf is.
I know, amazing,
really good. But having seen Mr. Villas play on Monday in the LT charity golf day, I'm hoping they're not getting any tips from him, I have to say.
I'd like to add to that, Mrs. Collins, because I think we're aware that you've got some golfing expertise within you, ex-county golf, I think Mrs. Collins is. So we'd like to see Mrs. Collins at that next event, Mr. Villas said.
That's parked firmly in history. I can assure you of that.
You
don't need to see that anymore, I can tell you.
Oh, thank you anyway,
Thanks,
Mrs. Cowell. It's a wonderful year. Thank you so much for all you and your team do. Okay, so moving on now, we are going to have a roundup of performing arts and another fantastically busy and successful year in performing arts. So we have Miss Clark, straight back from one of their trips. I think she's with us to tell us all about performing arts. Hello.
Hello, thank you very much. Yes, as Ms. Troy says, it's been a very busy year in performing arts, and a very exciting term rounded off. This week we've been in London for our Lives Week trip, and next week we've got a few more exciting events as well. So just so on the screen you can see some of the summary of this term. So we have had this week our junior school Lambda exams, and last week our senior school Lambda exams, and they went fantastically. Everyone came out very happy, and we keep our fingers crossed for some fantastic results. Our Lambda exams, led by Miss Grimstitch, have an outstanding record of brilliant results, and the students work incredibly hard for those. So it's will be exciting when we get those results through. But we've actually already had our ISTD dance exam results through from our modern exams that took place 2 weeks ago, and those range from students in reception all the way through to year 9, and those results were excellent. So we had 100% pass rate with students achieving really top marks in primary modern all the way through to grade 3 modern. And this is something that will continue in our autumn term. Our primary TAPs will take their exam in the autumn term as well, we hope, alongside some more modern exam opportunities. And if anyone would like any more information on senior school clubs, so it's taught as part of our curriculum in the junior school, but as clubs in our senior school. If anyone would like any more information, just to get in touch. On the screen, you can see Arts Award, and I can't let this term finish without mentioning some of our Year 10 students who have just achieved their Silver Arts Award. This is a huge achievement. It's very much like the Duke of Edinburgh qualification in that they have to complete several different units. They have to lead a leadership project, they have to do some research, they have to witness theatre and review theatre. They have to learn a new skill. So there's lots of things that go into the Silver and the Bronze Award. And we've had Edward in Year 7 complete his Bronze Award, and several students in Year 10, Sophie, Jack, Will, Rosie. Sonia's actually achieved both Bronze and Silver this year, and Zoe has achieved Silver. So they've all done an incredible job working with Miss Smith on the Arts Award, and will continue on to do Gold next year and into the 6th form. And this is a great opportunity for our scholars and our highly able students in performing arts to develop their skills further and take on some new challenges. And as you can see, some pictures there from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And talking of new challenges, there were lots within this show, lots of technical challenges where our backstage team worked tirelessly to make that happen. And thank you to Mr. Kuba, Mr. Cully and Joe for all of that work that went into making that look so fantastic. But our students on stage did a brilliant job in what was a full-scale West End production. We don't do a junior school production in terms of the junior versions of the production with our senior students. And so this was for year 5 to 9, and they did the full West End production and did a fantastic job. We were pretty much sold out, so if you managed to see it, well done. Unfortunately, it isn't videoed, but we do have some fantastic pictures from it, and we've got exciting opportunities coming up in the new year as well. All of our clubs have been working really hard this term, and you can see those performances from those clubs in our Performing Arts Marathon that takes place on Monday, one of our final events of the term. And you'll see some of our choirs, our New Voices, Young Voices, a cappella and boys choir, all performing in President's Day and Celebrations Day as well. So they've been working tirelessly, and we've had a lot of success this term. Throughout the year, we do ISA competitions, and I will have mentioned before about previous wins. Our a cappella won in the Easter term, but this term we had brilliant news of our drama. We had a Year 8 group and a Year 10 group both go and compete at Luckley House School. And our Year 10s came second place in their senior category with their performance of Find Me, which also happens to be their GCSE set text. So a brilliant opportunity for them, and some fantastic comments as well for the Year 8 production. And Sonia in Year 10 was singled out for her most convincing character, so she won an extra award there. She's also had success in ISA debating and the ISA Shakespeare monologue competition this term, so she's doing a fantastic job. And our music composition competition, which I always struggle to say, was won by Shay in Year 9 for his composition that he submitted. He's worked entirely in his own time, supported by Mr. Saint on that, and has done an excellent job. And we hosted the ISA musical theatre competition, and we had 3 students make it through to the final, Rosie, Izzy and Emily won the Adjudicator's Choice Award. So brilliant successes in the ISA, and it's something that we hope to continue with as we enter all of the performing arts ISA competitions, and have had fantastic success across the year. And as mentioned previously, we've just come back from a Lives Week Performing Arts residential trip a hugely packed week from Monday to Thursday. We're getting back about 9 o'clock last night, and we still have some students here watching Footloose and reliving some of the memories from earlier in the year. But here's some of the things that we got up to. We had 3 workshops in total: a dance workshop, acting and singing workshop, where we learned and danced to some of the songs from Back to the Future, which we saw on Wednesday night. We did 2 theatre tours, one of the Bridge Theatre, which isn't actually open to the public. So this was a really exciting opportunity to get to see this theatre kind of being set up, which is wonderful because although we do all of our techs here and we have a fantastic theatre, this is a very unique theatre. It's set up in the round and it has different working components. So it's great for them to see a different theatre. And if you haven't seen Guys and Dolls, I highly recommend it. We were in the immersive experience. So we were stood on the stage with the actors, which was brilliant. And dancing along at the end of the show with all the actors was a fantastic way to finish the trip. So thank you to the staff who supported that. And the students were incredibly well behaved and worked incredibly hard, despite the heat walking around London. And so just moving on to next week, we have a few more events coming up before we finish the term. As I've already said, we've got our Performing Arts Marathon that takes place on Monday. This will go from 9 o'clock in the morning till about 5 o'clock, slightly shorter than last year, and a full schedule of those performances will come out at the end of today. So you can feel free to drop in either in person. If you're coming in person, please come through main reception and into our theatre, and you can see our students' performances there. Or you can join us live on YouTube, and I'll be sending out the link where you can stream those performances next week. There will be a short break in the middle of the day, unlike our previous marathon. So there will be a short break. So if you tune in between 12:30 and 1, don't worry, we haven't finished. We're just taking a short breather. And we have our Performing Arts dinner on Tuesday night, which is our awards dinner at the end of the year, celebrating all of our success. And I can't talk about success without mentioning one of the big things that was part of our Lives Week trip, which was our National Schools Theatre Awards. We attended with 8 students, and 3 of whom performed Learning to be Silent from Footloose. And unfortunately, despite our brilliant performances from our students, we didn't win any awards this year, but we will try again next year. And we're incredibly proud of our cast of crew and on stage students performing, because it's a fantastic achievement even to be nominated. And we had 3 up shortlisted for awards. So a huge well done to everybody involved in that. It made us very, very proud. And as I say, we're watching it back today on video. So well done to everybody involved in that. And we look forward to celebrating the rest of our successes at our dinner on Tuesday night. So I think that's it for Performing Arts. And we're looking forward to another busy autumn term, I'm sure.
Thank you, Miss Clark. And it is absolutely fantastic to hear the nominations and the shortlisting for those awards, because that is a huge achievement in itself. So well done to all those pupils. And hearing of the achievements of everybody today has been unbelievable. And we've got some really talented pupils and so many opportunities for them, and I think there's something for everybody at LVS, and I think that's the most important thing, is that everybody gets involved and does really well. So thank you to everybody on the call. Next week's a busy week. So
this week's been quite busy.
This week's been busy. We've had the Year 13, Year 11 ball over the last couple of nights. We've got the Year 6 prom tonight, followed by an open day tomorrow. So yeah, it's all go.
There's a community event on Sunday.
There is indeed. There is a community event at lunchtime, and I believe there's a 5-a-side football tournament in the morning as well, about 11 o'clock. So if any parents are out there that might want to take part, then if you can contact Mrs. Carroll, she will add you to the team. I'm apparently told that it's going to be a very, very successful staff team, but we will see.
That's what I think.
So then we have, we've heard about some of the events that are going on already from our members of staff, but just to give you a rundown next week, Monday the 1st of July, we do have the Infant Junior School Sports Awards dinner or barbecue should I say, from 3 till 6, and parents are invited to come and attend from 4 p.m. onwards. We have our Year 10, for those of you that have children in Year 9 and in Year 10 currently, we do have our information evening on Monday evening, which starts at 6 p.m. Face-to-face, so it's actually in the theatre on Monday evening, but also will be streamed live as well. So if you are unable to make it, it will also be streamed as well. And again, just like this session, available on playback if you do happen to miss it. So please don't worry. But being on site allows people to come to the Principal's Drinks on Monday evening from 6:30 onwards in our fantastic marquee. which will be a lovely evening. I believe there's a live string quartet, maybe, I think. And that's always a lovely event to come and join in. Tuesday's a busy day for us. There's some events going on in the day. We're welcoming our new Year 7s and new reception pupils into school, and within the infant junior school, everybody is moving up. So it's our transition day. So if they're currently in Year 3, they're going into Year 4 in the afternoon, and that's happening there. Any parents that are joining in reception and also in Year 7, you're invited to attend a afternoon tea in the marquee from 3 p.m. So we hope to see as many of you there as possible, as well as parent events for current Year 10s and current Year 5s as well. And then, as we said, we've got our performing arts dinner in the evening. Miss Clark mentioned there, which starts at 6:30. All pupils that are invited will have already received their invite, so hopefully you've responded to that. But that will be a lovely opportunity to celebrate the performing arts dinner, awards, successes, performances that have happened. Wednesday becomes our really busy days for everybody. So we have our Infant Junior School Celebration Day, which takes place in the morning. That's a formal event which takes place in the sports hall. Which is then followed by some dancing performances, I think, some musical performances in the Infant Junior School playground straight after, until around about 12 to 12:30, when Sports Day for the Senior School begins. So Sports Day for the Senior School will begin just after the celebration day to allow you to attend both, and ensuring, obviously, that you can celebrate if you've got children in both areas of the school. We then have our Sports Awards dinner in the evening, 6:30 onwards. And again, if your children have been invited in the senior school to that, they will have already received their invites and hopefully returned their acceptances. And we also have the Infant Junior School Information Evening. So that's for all new and current parents in the evening. And I'm really struggling to read that, but I think it says 7 p.m. So I'm hoping that is right. It's saying 7 p.m. for the Infant Junior School Information Evening. And then finally, last day of term, we have our Infant Junior School Sports Day in the morning next Thursday. That begins at around about 9:30, but feel free to stay once you've dropped off your children in the morning, 9:30 to approximately about 1 p.m. And then our Senior School President's Day, Prize Giving Day, takes place in the afternoon with an official start time of 1:30 till about 3 o'clock. And I believe there are refreshments available afterwards. So it's a jam-packed. Friday is, you can all have a lie-in on Friday. I'm sure some of you are going off on holiday. But yes, it's going to be a very busy week, jam-packed.
Yes, but then summer starts.
Fingers crossed that the weather is not looking great for next week, but fingers crossed it will be great and it will be fantastic over the summer as well. And I think
that's it. We just want to thank everybody, all of you, for supporting us over the last academic year with everything that's gone on. And wish you all a very, very happy and healthy summer.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.